Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Gary, and in this video, we are going to talk about Clover, ticker symbol CLOV. And in particular, we are going to talk about the chart, what happened yesterday, and what are the updates with regards to Clover. If that's what you want to see, do watch on. Without further ado, let's go. All right, guys, right off the bat, let's take a look at the chart, Clover Health Investment Corp. And yesterday, we were down by negative 2.46%, down by 2.46%. and priced at $14.66. So if you ask me, I think this is a pretty good consolidation phase, and we were up to $28 and dropped to $14. And right now the support line is at $13.33.66 thereabout. So this is the consolidation phase, and that's what we want to see, because every time a chart goes up, it will go down, but it will definitely have a drawback. So whenever it draws back, there will be a consolidation phase before another upward run. So I mentioned yesterday that I want to enter a position in the pre-market at $13 plus. So as of now, I'm still at a gain, right? Be it my call, be it my shares. So I'm still at a gain. What to look out for? So if you guys haven't get into Clover, if you guys get into Clover already, but you guys are thinking of maybe average up or average down your position, I think this is a pretty good place to actually average. You look at $13 plus to average to enter your position in Clover. So what to look out for? Right now, as you can see over here, this was the resistance line. Okay, the resistance line in short term is here, $16.15. I think this is a pretty strong sort of resistance line, because as you can see, we gapped up around this area, and as you can see over here, we gapped down this area. So this particular, if you zoom it in, let me zoom it in for all of us to see. So this is the resist. It was the support line, but it became, right now it is a resistance line. So it tried the first time over here. It failed. It dropped back down to the support line. It go back up again to the resistance line. It dropped back down again. So and also the fact that we are trying to go above the 50-day moving average. And if you watch my video, I mentioned that whenever a chart goes beyond the 50-day moving average, it means that the bull is in control, and right now the bull is trying to get back into control. So it is a good time to enter. Why? Because if it drops further, right? If it drops further, then you might want to exit your position and wait for a next confirmation. But the next support line I'm looking at is this line where we gapped up. So this line is a decent support line. So but then I think at $13 and something cents, right? This line here, $13 ish, is a pretty good support line. Why? Because if you take a look at the big picture, okay, take a look at the very big picture, right? Clover went up to $17 and then it consolidates at this area. Okay, let me zoom it in. So you see this line. So it tells you that, okay, it is kind of like respecting this particular support line. So it is a support line to watch, and if it breaks, then you might want to exit your position and wait for the next support line or the next confirmation. So that's about it for the chart. Basically, in terms of the RSI, in terms of the MACD, I think it looks pretty normal. MACD is consolidating as well, so we just gotta wait. But if you guys want to enter your position hoping for another squeeze up, I think this is a pretty good time, because we might be seeing this. Okay, we might be seeing this particular play out where $28, it drops back down and it kind of consolidates here, but we probably see this cup and handle formation forming. So it might be, and then yeah, so we might be seeing this cup and handle formation. If it does, then from $14 to $28, I think that is a good 100% gain again. So yeah, the risk to reward ratio is definitely there. So if you're thinking of on the sideline, thinking of entering, or if you have a position in Clover when like $20, $21, $22, then I think you might consider, average down your position, and then if it drops, then you just sell away that particular average, that particular trade that you made. which is at $14. So you just, if you want to diamond hand at $20, I think I leave it up to you. Okay, so the chart looks pretty ready for another bull run, so we just gotta wait and see for any confirmation. And if you guys want to see confirmation, you guys can buy here lah. So if it breaks this particular resistance line at $16.15, then you can, maybe it goes to $16.30, you can buy lah, because it means that it is a breakout, and the next line, it tends to go up to the next resistance line. So that's the chart. So next, let's take a look at some potential short squeeze again. So if you take a look at this market watch, Clover is ranked third, still ranked third amongst all the other stocks. So it is updated. It looks as if like it hasn't been updated, but it is updated because you take a look at the price, the change and stuff like that. So right now we are still at 36.6% shorted. It is from Market Watch. So there are different websites that have different results because they use different metrics to calculate and different time and stuff like that. So let's take a look at Ortex. Okay, so the short interest change increases plus 4.98, and I believe it has increased. And the borrowed share over here is 12 million. The estimated current SI percentage is 45.38, and current SI is 51%. So next I would like to show so with this, right, I'd like to show you this particular Twitter account. I mentioned about him, Managing Director of Predictive Analytics of S3 Partners. Okay, so S3 Partners financial analytics firm. So basically, if you run a firm and you are managing director, obviously you want to provide just, fair, and obviously not flawed information. So his information you could probably rely on, but not 100%. Take it with a pinch of salt. But also, he don't just tweet about Clover, right? He tweet about AMC, he tweet about Right, he tweet about different stocks. So in a sense, he's fair lah. It's not like, oh, he has a position in Clover, he want to talk about it and stuff like that. So he posted the data as well. So 48.75 mm SHS shorted, 43.23% SI shorted. So if you look at the first picture, it's 45.38. So obviously, as I mentioned, there are slight discrepancy, but nevertheless, is a range around 40 plus. So let's go through again. Short interest has percentage of float. So this is a percentage of shares that funds and large investors are currently short of in the stock. Represented as a percentage of the current free float. So example given is the portion of its shares that can be publicly traded. So that is short interest has. Okay, so now that we understand what is SI afloat, this S3 SI afloat, short interest float, is 30.18%. Basically, what is S3? Essentially, it's just his company, S3 Partners. And if you guys want to know more about it, you guys can go to their website. Basically, they explain what is it in detail. But let's go on. So now we take a look at this. Estimate short interest percentage of free float is 43, and percentage free float on loan is 47.12. And of course, you take a look at this utilization rate, 99.77. Okay, so in case you're not very sure what is utilization, basically take a look at this. The utilization of data is the number of shares borrowed divided by the number of shares that institutional investors are willing to lend. A higher rate indicates that more of the supply of shares in the securities lending market is being borrowed. A higher utilization rate also increases the likelihood that short sellers could face a buy-in if investors recall their loan shares. Okay, so now we are at 99.77%. So it is pretty high percentage. So in terms of the data, we are looking at a potential short squeeze. But I'm not sure all this data is correct. I hope it is by all these particular companies. I mean, obviously they want to provide correct values. And also, let's take a look at Fintel, right? So in Fintel, last 4 hours, as you can see, the short borrow fee rate has decreased from 11 of June. It was 22%, 20% drop to 5%, and now we're picking up at 7.76%. So it has slowly increased. So let's hope that this short borrow fee rate increase to 10, 15, and then slowly, then that's where we see remember I mentioned about this cup and handle, so that's where we see a short borrow fee rate, as well as the chart is slowly start to rise up and form this cup and handle formation, this U shape. Yeah, so oh yeah, by the way, in case you guys not very sure, in the beginning of Jan, the short borrow fee rate is approximately 3 to 2%. So the fact that we're at 7.76% is considered high in relative to beginning of Jan. So beginning of Jan, it was 2 to 3%. And then because it slowly built up, and then there was this spike to $28. So can you imagine, now we are consolidating at 5 and then 7, then slowly we go up. So it could have another squeeze up. And on Fintel, the short squeeze score is 95.19, 7 out of 6,827 ranking. So the ranking is 7th position. So there are better ranking. Yeah, if you want to try those higher ranking, you can just try and buy out lah. But in this video we talk about Clover. So 7 and 95.19. So you can take a look, read this, what is the how they churn out the result. Not a financial advice, for entertainment purpose only. If you guys like it, do smash the like button and subscribe. I'm trying to grow my channel. That's it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.